Hi folks, just want to talk about George Harrison's album today, All Things Must Pass. Following the news last week that we were going to get the new remastered edition on August the 6th this year, 2021, and there's been a lot of talk on YouTube, etc. about the price, which is probably a bit on the steep side for some. Well, for most, it's expensive. You know, it's a week's wages for some people, but what can you do with that? That's what they're doing these days. Things are expensive, so but it's taking it away from the fans. That's the problem. But anyway, I don't want to go down that path now. I don't want to start ranting. I nearly did, but I just want to talk about the actual music on the album. Don't forget the music, because that's what it's all about. The music is great no matter what. Okay, so what I thought I'd do, I'd go through my least favourite to favourite tracks on this album. This album's been with me for 50 odd years. Started off life in mum and dad's house and moved with me wherever I've been through life. So very close to here, or to there. So I do love every single track. I do like the Apple Jam, but I'm not going to include any Apple Jam songs from that one. I'm just going to concentrate on album 1 and album 2. Okay, so I'm starting off, my least favourite track is Hear Me Lord. It's not one I particularly play a lot, but I do tend to play this album through, so I don't pick and choose, but that would be my least favourite track. And following on from that is Art of Dying, Waiting on You All and Wah Wah. They seem a little bit, how shall we say, a bit heavy on the production. I don't want to keep talking about this production because that's how it was done in the day, and I've lived with this album like that and never thought anything of it really till recent years when people have started to talk about the reverb and what have you. Even George himself wasn't happy with the reverb, so but prior to that point I was sort of okay with it really, and still am. But it will be nice to hear, what would you call it, a despectorised version, if that's the right word, de-reverbed, I don't know. So next one, my least favourite is not If Not For You. That's a Bob Dylan cover. It's a good song, it's okay, I like it, but it's down the bottom end. Apple Scruffs, that's another one. That's a good song. It's George's dedication to the fans. He used to hang around the Apple Studios back in the late 60s. Yeah, it's okay, it's alright, it's okay, they're all good. Next one is What Is Life. That's great, I mean, I love that guitar intro. And it's a good upbeat song from George. Didn't do too many upbeat ones really, did he? But that's a nice upbeat song. That was the B-side to My Sweet Lord, if I remember rightly, in this country. Yeah, so following on from that, I Dig Love. That's a good one. That's got a good, plenty of emptiness in the sound on that one. Plenty of gaps. I do like that one. Next one will be Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp. Brackets, Let It Roll, close brackets. It's a good one, Let It Roll Across the Floor. Frankie Crisp was the architect of George's house, of course. Okay, Fry Park. Moving on to the next track. Another great track, but it's halfway down or halfway up. It's My Sweet Lord. Again, it's an overplayed song, so probably over familiar with this one, but I love it. I love the acoustic guitar and the slide guitar intro and all the backing vocals, which was done by George himself. He just layered all his own vocals, called himself the George O'Hara Smith Singers on that one. So yeah, it's a great song. Got in a bit of trouble with the songwriting aspects, but I don't care. It's a great song. Right, Behind That Locked Door, that's another good one. Pedal steel guitar on that one. Pete Drake played that, pedal steel guitar. Nice lyrics on that one, Behind That Locked Door. Isn't It a Pity, version 1. There's two versions on here. I put version 1 down as my least favourites over version 2, but we'll come to that. So yeah, Isn't It a Pity, that's great. Sort of a Hey Jude type outro on that one. But I like the lyrics. Isn't it a pity how we break each other's hearts, cause each other pain? Yeah, it is a pity. Right, down to the next one, Let It Down. That's a good one. That's sort of a quiet, loud song, isn't it, really, which became a bit more, that style became a bit more famous in the 90s with the Pixies and people like that. Or should we say Pixies? Quite loud. Let It Down's a bit like that. Let it down, let your love flow all around me. Yeah, great. Now, Isn't It Pretty version 2 comes next. Prefer this one over version 1 for some reason. I don't know, not much difference really, but there's only one song in between those on my list, so they're still fairly close together. But yeah, it's good. It's okay. Right, you notice I'm not going too deep with these with this list, am I? I'm not delving down too deep. I'm just going to just telling you what I love the most. Next one, the title track, All Things Must Pass. George offered this to the Beatles, but they did try it out during the Let It Be sessions. Didn't quite work out. I'm glad really, because I like George's version. I've seen an outtake of Let It Be outtake of the Beatles running through this song, and John just not interested at all. Paul's helping out with the backing vocals on the chorus. John's playing some sort of keyboard. He just looks bored. It's a shame, but he was probably just having a bad day. Okay, and we know they had good days when they were doing Let It Be, which we'll find out in the new Get Back film when that comes out. Right, which I'm looking forward to beyond belief. Right, Beware of Darkness. That's another great song. Joe Cocker did a good version of this one. Great lyrics, great melody, and a nice guitar solo in the middle part. Great, Beware of Darkness. Next track, Run of the Mill. I absolutely love this one. It's the counter melodies and the words, and it's great. I think he's talking mainly to Paul on this one. Everyone has choice when to or not to raise their voices. It's you that decides. It's a great song. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish it was a bit longer. It's a bit short, but it really is one. It is a highlight of this album. Many people may not put Run of the Mill number 2, but it's always been a favourite. It's always been a favourite. In fact, the top 2 have always been my 2 favourites. That doesn't really change. So, speaking of top 2, I'll go to top 1, and that's I'd Have You Anytime. Absolutely love this one. Co-written with Bob Dylan, and I love it. And I think lyrically, I think George is sort of speaking to Bob a little bit, Bob Dylan. I think Dylan did write the chorus, I think. George wrote the verse, if I remember rightly. I don't really know. I love the chord changes. I love the guitar intro, which I think was played by Eric Clapton. Some fantastic acoustic guitar behind that. Like I say, nice chord changes. Love it, absolutely love it. I love the gentleness of the song. It's really gentle. And I suppose in them days it was a little bit unusual to start off with a quiet song. Because like the Beatles, they always start off with a rock song. Back in the USSR, you know, I Saw Her Standing There. You know, come together. It's what they did. But George on this one, we started off with a slow ballad, and I absolutely love that one. I'd Have You Anytime. Right, so that's the list from least favourite to most favourite. Like I say, I enjoy every single song. I enjoy the Apple Jam, which I haven't spoken about too much, but really, it's just one, to me, that just feels like one long track in a way. You know, it's split up into, is it 4 tracks? I don't know. I remember Jeep, Thanks for the Pepperoni, It's Johnny's Birthday, you know. Good. It's nice. It was a nice thing to do in them days. It was nice to hear. It was good to hear. And good to hear George with Derek and the Dominoes. And Ringo. Right, okay, so we'll conclude here. I'll just remind you that this album is very, put the right way up. This is my original copy, not a remastered, not a reissue. Original copy, one of the initial runs, because I bought it more or less on release. Don't remember now whether I had it for a birthday or I don't know, might have had some birthday money or Christmas money saved up. I knew George is putting a triple album out, so doing extra chores around the house maybe, get some more money together. But 50 years this has been with me, and it's been with me everywhere. And it's a little bit, not too bad, it's fairly solid, it's no, the corners are fairly good. It's okay, it's alright, still opens up good. There's the apple jam there. We'll show you the apple jam rather than talk about it. But if you've not heard this album, you need to. I don't think you need to be a Beatles fan really, or do you? I don't know. I think anybody could like that. If you like good music, that's the one. Right, we shall conclude at this point, and we shall all look forward in some way or another to listening to the new remastered version on August the 6th. Don't know where I'm going to jump in yet, whether I'm going to jump in low, high, middle, I don't know. I'm going to have to get some more stuff on eBay. That's what I tend to do. I tend to stick a bit of stuff on eBay and go through some CDs or whatever, which I think, well, I can get rid of this or sell this, and I do raise a bit of money that way, and then I can sort of justify the expense to myself and to her indoors. Right, you've got to keep her indoors, please, otherwise could be silence if you know, if I spend too much money, but keep that quiet. But I do justify it, some of the expense to buying and selling. Right, I'm going on a bit too much now. Cut.